Yeah,
All right,
go
so
on.
listen, a couple things going back into the game plan that we talked about, right? Number one, right? The 10, the 9, the 7, and 11 doing a better job, okay, of getting the initial pressure. It doesn't have to be high. It's not what I'm saying. But as they're preparing to play that entry into their 9 and 10, you guys have got to understand what that means. Oftentimes what's happening is the 7 and 11 are dropping, causing the 9 and 10 to be on an island. They're playing to the outside backs, and then the outside backs are having that chance to enter. Okay? We need the 7 and 11 to stay higher to work with the 10 and the 9 to make sure that they don't get that first entry pass. That's number one. Number two, when we're protecting that seam, we can make it more compact. So Cole, Dylan, Michael, Ethan, or Nico, or Dino, can we take space? If there's nobody behind you, you guys can step into that zone, right, and win that ball. So if Dylan's stepping in, you're funneling behind him, but he can go step there, okay? That way, you don't always have to take the two center midfielders back. So you guys got to do a better job to communicate that, and it got better as the game went on, right? As they're getting a little bit tired, it's getting a little bit better, okay? Then when we think about our transitions, right? Transition to play forward if we can. If we can't, nor if we need to, right? So we don't necessarily, at 2-0, should be 3-0. We don't necessarily need to. If it's on to play that ball, go for it. But if it's not, then we need to secure the ball. And really what we need to look at is how do our outside backs, right, our 3 and our 2, get a better starting spot, right? So higher, in order to more strongly impact their outside back. I think that their outside backs are the weakest players. And I think that we're letting them off the hook, like we were talking about, Ethan, right? We're letting them off the hook by playing the 35-yard diagonal from the outside backs into the box. I would much rather see us get 2v1s in the wide areas so that we can get to the key assist zone in order to create our chances. Okay? So, transition to attack. Look for it. Runners, look for it. Murph, that's what I said in the first half, right? You're checking down when the space is in the channel and behind. So runners look for it to get forward. If it's not on, secure the ball. But in that securing of the ball, can the outside backs have a higher starting position? If that happens, can the 6 sit in and the 5 and the 4 split in order to add extra angles in order to get in there? And lastly, most importantly, can we kill off the game? Right, we're at 2, should be 3, but really we should get to 5 or 6. We talked about that, yeah? There's more energy to be had inside of this game. Clear? Questions?
No.
Okay, lastly, central players, right? So I talked to Ben about it. Jacoby, I'm talking to you about it as well. Why are we continuing to get stuck on that side? Is it the depth of the 5 and the 4? Is it the depth of the center backs? Ben said that, and then one time he went back there, right? So Michael and Dylan, when we're in possession, can you deepen off? Because if if the 2 center midfielders get it, we don't want them staying pinned to one side. We want them to transition that ball out the other way. Yeah. Okay. What else are we seeing out there, Sebi? What are you seeing?
Our pressing is decent, but especially their outside backs, like you said, like their left backs, probably the 2 worst players I've ever seen in my life. Like, but every single time they get the ball, you give them 10 yards of space, and they bomb into the tall guy that actually knows how to play soccer.
Yeah, so
just get pressure to the outside back, stop letting him play it.
Exactly. So let's just use it a little bit more, right? So just come off of that left back, right? Whoever's the right winger, so that's the pass that they want to hit. Murph and Sebi or Quinn, when you're in, let's send them to that player, right? And then we can go apply our pressure when he has it. Clear? Yes? What else? What about the wide guys? Dino, Cole, what are we seeing about the 2v1s in the wide spaces, Murph?
I think we need to get a better job of getting to the end lines because we have the opportunity in their outside backs. I think most of our wingers can beat them with speed. Get it there and cut it back, and we get a lot more goals.
And that's what I mean by the transition, right? Don't force that transition because they just keep deepening, right? But let's understand how the outside backs need to join to, because what's going to happen is that, Coach Dalton and I were talking about the starting space of the outside backs, right? Starting space of the outside backs will allow us to send their defenders backwards, getting closer to the end line, which will be better for services. Okay, so let's keep working on that starting space and let's not rush. If you get to the end line and their service is not on, just recycle the ball, right? Then we can go out the other side and we can try again. They're just going to get more and more tired. Lastly, you just have to have a little bit more tempo when you're transitioning the ball across the back line because that's going to widen them out, right? The ball moves faster than the player, so widen them out so the openings are bigger. And if you hit an entry and the entry's not on, just recycle it and go again, okay? But let's get the next few. Yes?
Yep.
Yeah? All right, let's go. Let's be the top of